Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to New Moon Musings for our new moon on July 5th. And this cycle is really going to be powerful, and it's going to be very heart-based and heart-connected. So if you want to get to know your heart a little bit more, this is the moon cycle to do it in. And for those of you who are new to me, welcome. Please stay tuned. I'm going to explain how you can make this New Moon Musings reading work for you. It's about a 1-minute clip. For those of you who are used to all of this stuff, go ahead to the timestamps below and click on the intro, and let's get to it. For those of you who are new to me, here's a quick little breakdown on how to make this reading work for you. The new moon cycle works where it moves in 3.5 basically days throughout that 28-day cycle. So sometimes you're in a phase a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. It is not linear. But what I do is I give you dates connected to each of the phases of the new moon cycle so that you can come back to the video after you've watched the whole thing, you've taken it all in, you come back to that video for those particular times so that you understand, okay, I'm in, the waxing crescent phase, and what do I need to know about that? What is transpiring in my world right now? And this information is really helpful because it's giving me perspective on what it is I need to learn, or maybe I need to pull back, or maybe I need to lean in a little bit more. So use this. It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. Use it throughout the month to support you. So for July and July 5th, our new moon is happening on 6:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10:57 p.m. UTC time. And we are in a Cancer moon. And the Cancer moon, let's talk about Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is flowy and feels all the things and the stuff and is very homey and wants to open their home to you. Come on in, let me take care of you, let me nurture you, let me give you all the things and the stuff that you need, and let me supply you with a solid foundation from which you can go and grow. So for this particular new moon energy, we are going to be pulling cards to find out about all that heart-related stuff with the Guiding Light Tarot. And this is a new deck to me. I'm actually not even sure. Oh, here it is, Victoria Iva. I want to make sure that I'm giving the artist proper credit. And I believe Philip Young also is a part of the writing on this, so I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. And then I'm going to be pulling some affirmation cards for you from the Moon Magic Oracle deck from Stacy DeMarco. So let's get to it, and we're going to start with our release card. What is the release card? The release card is saying, okay, we're coming out of this sort of Gemini moon cycle energy. What did we learn, and what do we need to release from that cycle? So many times we hang on to everything. We're so programmed to get into the past or to get caught up in, what is it I'm learning? What is the message from all of this? How am I supposed to sort of move through? So the release card helps us to say, okay, all the things and the stuff that you acquired, great, yay, reflect on it, and then release it because you got to make room for the new. So our release card, is 7 of Swords. And 7 of Swords basically says, be in your own integrity. Whatever happened in the past, it's in the past. Choose right now to get connected to your truth. What is your truth? This card also indicates strategy. So I'm also hearing that for some of you, not all of you, of course, this is a general reading. For some of you, it's about letting go of the strategy or the plan. And sorry, Mr. Neo is making his presence known. And being more in a space of inflow. Not necessarily impulsivity, but I would say spontaneity. So for some of you, not all of you, release the plan. The plan's already in motion. Now it's time to go out and live. Trust that the plan is doing what it's supposed to do. Trust that the strategy's in place. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to over manifest. Trust that it is in motion. That's a really big message, an important one, because a lot of us, we manifest the same things over and over and over again. And every time you manifest something, the same thing, you tell the universe, oh, I'm not quite ready for it. Let's reset the clock. That's not really what you want, right? We don't want to reset the clock. We want it now. In fact, we want it yesterday most of the time, if you're like me. Now we're going to pull our soul card. And the soul card gives us an indication and a direction on how the collective is growing and going. So let's see where we're growing and going together. Temperance. Love it. So temperance is alchemy. It also is balance, but I'm actually reading this today very much in the space of alchemy. What are we alchemizing? What is it that we are setting on fire and changing form? What is it that we're combining? What ingredients are we combining to create the perfect recipe? And I keep hearing there's a lot of inspiration, but like when you're not following a recipe, but you're just being really creative and you're going into the pantry and you're going into the fridge and you're pulling out different ingredients, and then you're like, okay, well, maybe a little bit of this spice and let's try a little bit of that spice over there, and we'll just kind of create a concoction and just sort of see what transpires. I feel like that's the energy for us in this Cancer moon energy, in this new moon cycle, is really about understanding that we are creating and writing the manual or creating the recipe as we go. We're not following something that's already in existence. And in fact, we're not supposed to follow something that's already in existence. We're supposed to be creative and expressive and experimental in our approach. And being the alchemist allows you to do that. So give yourself permission to be an alchemist in your life, to blend different things together just for the sake of blending them, and notice what you notice. See what happens as a result. When you're doing that on an individual level in your life, you're also creating that ripple effect for the collective to be able to have the confidence to do it itself as well. We all learn from one another, whether that's intentionally, visibly, obviously, or whether that's energetically and subconsciously. We are learning from one another. Oh, I love that soul card. Okay, now we're getting into our new moon card. And the new moon is happening on July 5th. And like I said, it's 6:57 p.m. Eastern Standard, 10:57 p.m. UTC. So it's definitely an evening new moon. And the energy around this new moon card is I manifest. So this is a great time for us to manifest. What energies are here to support my manifesting? How can I lean into their wisdom? So for these 3 days, we want to lean into the Five of Wands. So Five of Wands often can be seen as a card of training, conflict, but I want to say it's conflict because we don't necessarily know exactly what we're doing. We're practicing. Like I said with this card, we're experimenting. We're not going off of a recipe. We're going off of something in our mind. We're going off of inspiration. We're going off of, let's throw some spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, because we need to do the new. And sometimes it's important to, when you're starting from nothing, to just see, what does this and this do? Nothing. Okay, well, let me try this and this, resource instead. Ooh, fire. I just created fire. Okay, there's something to that. So you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And that's what I feel this is coming up with, is the Five of Wands is indicating that the energies for us in this new moon cycle and the I manifest is the permission to learn, permission to train, to understand that things don't have to be complicated. Things don't need to be confrontational in order for you to succeed or in order for you to move forward. I feel like somebody needs to hear the message that you don't have to have all of your ducks in a row in order to be able to move forward into something that you're really feeling energetically, inspirationally called to pursue. Five of Wands, I feel like this card has nothing to do with confidence, but I'm hearing that it's really connecting us to our confidence. So if you are lacking confidence in an area, this Five of Wands is going to challenge you to look for circumstances, situations, to bring in new resources that are going to help you with that confidence space. For those of you who might be on the overconfident scale, and you're recognizing that that overconfidence isn't actually serving me well, it's serving to isolate me, or I was overconfident in something and I actually really need to get a little more research or get a little more information before I, kind of round to it. So this card is going to say, okay, well, let's do that research and let's see what really worked and what didn't. I feel like the Five of Wands is also indicating during this particular 3-day window that there are going to be opportunities for you to head confrontation off at the pass. Don't shirk away or dismiss an opportunity to diffuse a situation. Now, this feels like we could be talking about a situation that you're seeing to other people, in maybe a heated discussion. Yes, you could do that. But I'm feeling like it's more of a what's going on between you and another person. So less so that you're stepping in on someone else's behalf, and more so that you're not dismissing an opportunity to be able to diffuse a situation either within yourself and another person, or within yourself, the divine masculine and the divine feminine that's within all of us. So that feels really interesting. So we'll pull an affirmation card for the I call it the 4 quarters or the 4 points of the spread. So the new moon is our sort of first point on the spread. Ooh, we've got a really pretty image. Beautiful. Eclipse. I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. So this actually makes a lot of sense when we are talking about that Five of Wands energy and the confidence piece, right? We are working up our confidence. We are finding some balance. It doesn't have to be conflict. It can be growth. And it's understanding that, again, I don't always have to have all of my ducks in a row in order to be able to be successful, or in order to give myself permission to learn and to grow. It's all in the approach that I take. I'm worthy of this information and this knowledge. I'm worthy of the time that it's going to take for me to perfect my craft or to understand the inner workings of what I'm bringing to light. So that feels really aligned, really in sync with that message. And our next card, we've got the waxing crescent moon, and this is I Plan. This is happening on July 9th through the 12th. I plan. What do I need to consider when creating my plan for the cycle? Any challenges or opportunities to be aware of? Oh, I love this. So we've got Ace of Cups. So when we're talking about that, what do you need to consider when creating your plan? It's where are you at with your self-love and self-care? Is your love cup full and overflowing? Is your love cup half full? Is your love cup empty? Is your love cup leaky? Does it need some repair work? I'm really hearing very clearly that these 3 days, this particular period of time, if you do not know the answer to these questions and actually act upon what this is, so, if your love cup is full and overflowing, awesome, I've done the work, let's do this. If it's half full, maybe I need to do a little bit of rest and recharge before I say yes to moving forward. If it's empty, maybe I'm going to say no. I'm not going to take any action step right now other than to fill this love cup. And if your love cup is in repair, you really need to have, I want to say, boundaries around your time and your energy. So not only is it a no, but it's also a no and no for a little while until I can rest up and really reconnect with myself. So I feel like this 3 days, if you're the kind of person that says yes to everything and then you don't have the energy to do it and you push yourself through, what I'm actually hearing is this could cause you some illness. This could cause you to get sick or to cause an injury. The universe gives you an injury that slows you down, that gives you the opportunity, or gives you the excuse to not say yes. But what I'm hearing from this is you don't have to feel like, dun, 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 something horrible is going to happen. This is saying, wait, you can ask yourself these questions before you get into this cycle, and you can say no beforehand so that you can avoid all of that stuff. I often say the universe hands us a lot of breadcrumbs, and if we don't pick up on the breadcrumbs or we ignore the breadcrumbs, it throws us half the piece of bread, and then it goes to the full piece of bread, and then it goes to chunks of bread, and before you know it, they're throwing the whole loaf our way. And if we're not picking up on it, we get the universal frying pan to the head. Bing! And that is the situation where you're like, oh crap. Now, not only do I not have this thing, or I can't move forward with this thing for now, but I also have a mess to clean up on the other side of it. So you don't have to have that. And that's what I feel this message is about, is really check in with your self-love and your self-care before you take any action steps around what you're going to do. So when we're in that I plan, it's before I plan anything. Let me check and make sure where my energy levels are at, where my heart is at with this. Do I have the time, the space, the ability to commit to this? If the answer is no, then your only job, you have one job, your only job is to fill that love cup. And when that love cup is full and overflowing, then yes, you can say yes, but not during these 3 days. So pay attention to what's coming up and coming through in those 3 days. Ooh, we just got a butt kick from the divine. I love that when they give us little butt kicks. I say that and then I get mad when I get my own butt kick and I'm like, come on. All right, first quarter, I act. So this is July 13th through the 16th. What energy fuels my motivation? How can I collaborate with source energy to empower my actions? Now this is going to be a good one. Oh, I love it. 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is typically a card of control. It's a card of resolution. It's also a card that says, maybe you're at the end of your rope. Let's really take a look at how much you have, I want to say, invested in this situation. Do you have enough more to go? It's interesting. We were just talking about that Ace of Cups and, is your love cup full and overflowing? Where are you at? Sort of energetically. 9 of Wands says, okay, I've put a lot of time and energy into something. Do I have enough energy? Is it wise for me to keep pushing through? Or is it enough to rest, to recharge, to heal? 9s are about endings, resolutions, conclusions to things. And so when we're talking about the I act, I feel like the 9 of Wands is also reinforcing the message that we just got with the Ace of Cups, which is, where is my energy at? And when we're talking about cups, we can often think about sort of the heart energy and the heart space. When we're talking about wands, it's the soul space, the soul fire. So we just dealt with the heart. Now you want to tap into the soul space. And PS and FYI, the soul is kind of like in it to win it. The soul is here for all of it. It doesn't judge what experiences we have as good, bad, or indifferent. The soul just says, okay, that was an experience. It helped me to grow. I got something from that. The 9 of Wands indicates that, the person on the inside, you as in human form, having the human experience, check in, make sure that your energy levels are good. Make sure that you've got what you need for that next leg. Also, when we're talking about that conclusion energy, are you ready to close the door on what's showing up in your world? And if you're not ready to close the door, what do you need to do to, I want to say, connect with that? Like, what do you need to do to open up to that, to expand, to fix or solve or deal with, so that you don't have to close that door? Sometimes it's easy to cut and run. Sometimes we need to cut and run. Sometimes that's exactly what we need. It's a swift release. That's 8 of Wands. 9 of Wands says, okay, no, this is here. It's still here. It's here for a reason. I haven't properly or adequately dealt with it yet. So what do I need to do to deal with it? Whether I'm going to release it or not, it needs my attention. And you want to make sure that you're coming to whatever that is with enough clarity and enough, I want to say, presence of soul to be able to connect with that and to speak, I want to say speak your heart. I hate using the term like adequately or properly, because that implies, if we just sort of word vomit all over it just to get it out and then we figure it out later, that's bad. It's not bad, but it's not ideal. So there is some thought process here, but it's less about the thought process. The thought process brings a slight bit of structure around the delivery. It's really, what is it that needs to come out? We talk about, at the beginning of this reading, it was the heart of the matter, right? Getting to the heart of things and really tapping into that energy. The 9 of Wands in this first quarter, which as we know is I act, it's, okay, I've addressed the heart area. I'm now addressing the soul area, and the heart and soul together combine. Am I ready for what's to come? Am I prepared for that? Am I ready to step in? Because it's coming, but we have the chance, we have the opportunity to prepare in the ways that we need to. So don't waste the opportunity to prepare during this time as well. So let's pull an affirmation for our I Plan card. Those challenges or opportunities. Oh, and there's like 6 cards flew out, but I'll just take the top card. I also feel like during that first quarter moon, you do have an opportunity to course correct. I mean, we always have an opportunity to course correct, but this feels very specific. It's kind of like any decisions that you've made up to this point. Sorry, I keep touching my face. I got cat hair. Neo walked across, and so now I got cat hair up my nose and in my eyes, and the usual. So you have the opportunity to course correct on a path or a decision that you made maybe in the previous cycle. But I'm feeling like you want to really understand why you would want to be course correcting. So know your why. Be at the heart of it before you make that decision, but you'll have that opportunity. Okay, I am honest with others and myself. Oh, and it is a first quarter moon. That's funny. So we got a first quarter moon card on the first quarter moon. That doesn't always happen, but that's really cool. So I'm honest with myself and others. I feel like that's what I was kind of just tapping into with this and that course correction. You can course correct. Just make sure that the course correction is exactly what you want it to be, that you're not running from something. As we talked about, I don't want to cut and run if that's not what's appropriate. But if that is what's appropriate, I absolutely want to cut and run. I need to be clear on, making that decision not from an ego-based space, but more from that heart-based space. Knowing unequivocally, yep, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do for me. So I'm honest with myself and others. Sometimes when we cut and run and we make those decisions and choices, other people get affected and they don't like it so much. Too bad, so sad. You have to do what is best for you, because ultimately what is best for you is going to be what is best in the end for everybody else, whether they see it in that manner or not. It matters not. Do you. And encourage them to do them. That's what it's all about. Okay, waxing gibbous, I choose. So this is July 17th through the 20th. What energy can I lean into for confidence as I discern my commitments? Ooh, we've got 10 of Swords. So leaning into the 10 of Swords for confidence makes a lot of sense. This is a Phoenix card, very much about that sort of death and rebirth process. And leaning into it for confidence, basically you're saying, okay, everything that I am working towards now, like everything from the past is dead, done, and gone and over with. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I no longer need to expend any kind of energy, whether that's soul energy, heart energy, or the energy of the head, the energy of the mind, on things that are done. That's an old version of me. I've closed the door on that. Whether it's linearly resolved or not matters not. I'm done with it. And that means something. When I say that, that matters. And I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward into new things. So when we are connecting to that I choose, the 10 of Swords is a great omen because it basically says, yeah, you have chosen to move forward. There's no other option but to move forward. Well, actually, that's not true. You could just lay there and stay in that. But staying in the shell of something means that the new version of you rots too. It's about nurturing, letting the new come out to, come out into the sunshine, come out into the daylight, be seen, be heard, breathe the air, that's what I feel is really going to happen. So when we step into that, I choose energy. This is giving you permission to choose the new. And you don't have to ask for permission, and you don't have to explain yourself. Let me say that again. You don't have to ask for permission, and you don't have to explain yourself. That's a big one. How many of us feel like we have to create? I know for me, maybe it's part of my trauma, I don't know, but I always feel in my relationships like I have to create a case as though I'm getting ready. It's a federal case and I'm going to be in front of a judge, and I have to have all of my proof and my, reasons for why I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And at the end of the day, I don't need anyone's permission to do what I know is right for me, and neither do you. So the Ten of Swords, I feel, is giving you permission to move forward into the new and to nurture whatever it is that you want to nurture in that moment and in those experiences. I love it. All right, full moon, our full moon card, I receive. So the full moon is on July 21st, and its energy is going to last through to the 23rd. And the full moon is still in Cancer, just barely, by a day. So it is a Cancer full moon, and it is known as the buck moon or the thunder moon. And I was really connecting with that thunder moon energy. It's happening at 6:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:17 a.m. UTC. And that thunder moon said to me that there was a lot of, I want to say, frequency. If we think about a thunderstorm, what is the air like when that thunder starts to roll in? The sky starts to turn a little dark or maybe a little green. You hear the thunder, sort of off in the distance, and the air shifts and changes. It brings you very much into the present moment. Maybe the wind picks up. Maybe there's a bit of a breeze. Maybe you might even feel a little mist in the air. It's charged, right? Because thunder and lightning go together. So that energy is charged, and the thunder is the sound. It's sound frequency and sound healing, sound shifting. So I feel that this full moon, this thunder moon energy is really going to be powerful in shaking up the tree, shifting up those vibrational spaces to make room for what you really need. It might not be what you want, but it's what you really need. I'm hearing that. Okay, so I receive. How can I best open to the energies of this full moon to receive clarity, guidance, and direction? And what gift does this full moon offer to me? Of course, we have the Fool card. So what we need and what we want might be two different things, but the beauty of it is it's coming in the energy of the Fool. It's that blind leap of faith. It's the universe saying, yes, we did the Ten of Swords. We're done with that energy. You're dead, done, and gone with that. It's time for the new, and we're going to make it exciting. We're charging the air so that you're excited about the release. How many times do you get excited about the big booms? You're like, I know I'm safe, but I'm still freaked right the fark out. But I know I'm safe. You have to remember all that. And then the rain comes, the lightning, the thunder, the storm, and when it passes, you're in a completely new energy. You're in a new adventure. And that's what the Fool card is bringing, is that new adventure. And it's the universe saying to you, duh, silly, this is what we have been working up to. This is what we've been telling you all about. It's here. And it's here showing up in a major arcana card. So we did have the Ace of Cups. Aces are new beginnings as well, but they're not major arcana. This is a major arcana card. So this is the overarching aspect of our lives. This is change that is going to last, change that can be maintained and sustained, and change that is aligning us to our highest and best purpose. So this full moon, it's receiving the unknown. It's packing the bags for the trip. because you're getting excited. You don't know exactly what the trip is going to hold, but you're excited to go on the trip. It's an adventure. It's something to do. It gets you out of the old and into the new. It expands your mind, your heart, and your soul. Notice we keep talking about that trinity, the mind, the heart, and the soul, the mind, the heart, and the soul, all of that coming through today. So there's a level of wholeness that we're also addressing at this time. Let's pull our affirmation for this fabulous thunder moon. Very cool. So we have, beauty raises my vibration. I seek it out for healing and joy. So I'm definitely feeling here with the Fool card, the adventure that we are opening ourselves up into is the beauty. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's going to be beauty at a level that you resonate with. I also love that it talks about raising the vibration and seeking that vibration for healing and joy. We just talked about the thunder moon, right? The thunder shifting things up, shifting the frequency, shifting the vibration, brings sound healing. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's up to you to determine what that new Fool's journey is going to be like for you. It's here, it's happening. I want to say you don't really have a choice in what the new adventure is going to be for you. It's going to cross your path. It's going to show up. But your choice is in how you choose to engage with it. You can choose to be happy and joyful. You can choose to heal through it. Or you can choose to feel a bit victimized by it and to say, yeah, I don't want it. And it's here, so I'm just going to dismiss it and ignore it and, push it to the side and put it in a drawer for later. And, we're all guilty of that. We all do it. But at the end of the day, wherever you go, there you are. So this card is saying, embrace it all. Just get her done. Get her done. No resistance. Resistance is futile. Okay, so we are on our disseminating moon, and this is on July 24th through the 26th. And the disseminating moon card, I acknowledge. How best can I honor my gifts and my light during this time? Where can I express gratitude from the heart? So honoring your gifts, oh, beautiful. We've got the King of Cups. Honoring your gifts is saying I'm going to step into, and look at all the waves, the vibration waves that have come right after this Fool's, the Fool's journey. I think that's really significant. So I do feel that sound frequency is going to be important for all of us. So listen to music that you love. Listen to music that's going to shift you. For those of you who are in a healing journey or a health journey, sound healing, sound vibration can really benefit you at this time. Focusing on everything from the heart space, not coming from the head and not coming from the soul. Coming from the heart region and the heart space first, and allowing the heart to expand into those other areas of the body is going to make a huge difference. So when we're talking about, how you can best honor your gifts and your light, I really feel that gratitude energy, it needs to be focused in the heart. The King of Cups energy is really about I'm very compassionate. I'm open-hearted. I understand the struggle and the strife, but I also see on the other side of that the health and the healing and the joy that comes as a result. And so I'm going to be compassionate and hold your hand through the process of whatever it is that you're needing to release, or what your fears are that are causing you to, maybe get stuck in that 10 of Swords where you still want to be in the shell of your old self. Maybe there's a bit of 3 steps forward, 2 steps back going on here. And the King of Cups says, my heart is open wide. The heart can never truly be damaged. We talk about being heartbroken, heart sick, broken-hearted. Truth be told, the heart itself, this is our, it's not our powerhouse, it's not our furnace, like the fuel is our soul flame. But the heart itself is where we do all of our healing, all of our alchemy, all of our transmuting. You can think of the heart as like our beautiful cauldron that the soul heats up. And whatever you put into the heart, you get to mix it up and create it and heal it and nurture it and all the things. And then you can emanate that from your heart, your throat, that kind of thing. The heart and throat chakra, the soul comes up through all of that. So King of Cups says, I understand it all. I do. And remember that the heart is strong. The heart is where all the magic happens. So the heart can never truly be broken. And when you're on this fool's journey, where you're starting into something new, the King of Cups says, and you're emotionally ready for this. You've got this. Forget the past. The strength is in the now. The foundation is in the now. And the foundation has been supported by this sound healing and this sound frequency. Ooh, I got chills as we're talking about that. That's really powerful. Alrighty, and now we are at our third quarter moon. I claim July 27th through the 30th. What is being completed in my life at this time? How can I connect to its release with conviction? So we had our King of Cups and now we got a Queen of Swords. So when we're talking about this, what's being completed in your life? I love the Queen of Swords because she's all about boundaries. She is about conviction. She says, I care so deeply that I have taken the time to think the plan through, to strategize. I've thought about the right people to delegate the right jobs to in order for everything to have this sinuous flow, so that when you go out and live your life and live your dreams, that you're going to have all of those needs met. And there's going to be continuity to your path and to your choices. So Queen of Swords is coming up here in this I claim to say, you're safe. Whatever it is that you are deciding to put into practice in your life and into your world right now, you're safe to do so. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Queen of Swords often can feel isolated because people often see this energy as somebody who is cold or calculating or off-putting. When you think of someone who's super boundaried, someone who, how often do you run into that? I run into it all the time. Actually, my fabulous friend and assistant, Marianne, that a lot of you know, you've had readings with me, she's amazing. She is also one of the most boundaried people that I know. I've said to her a number of times, hey, what about this or this or this? No, I'm not feeling it. Oh, okay. There's no discussion on it. And it's refreshing because it's not like we have to beat around the bush. She's just very clear. Nope, I'm not doing that. So if you need that done, somebody else can do it. If you need it done, we can talk or strategize about, maybe a different approach, but nope, I'm not doing it. So I feel like with this Queen of Swords, she's coming through to say to you, enjoy the freedom, the liberation that comes from being able to have those boundaries in place so that you don't have to waste your time and your energy on anything other than what you're aligned to achieve, to receive. That's a really important lesson. That's a big one. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's pull our affirmation for that one. Ooh, we've got an interesting moon. Waxing Crescent 4. Every day I bring radical self-love to my mind, body, and spirit. Wow. So we were just talking about the Queen of Swords. She is radical in her self-love. She's radical in her surrender. She's radical in her acceptance. She's radical in the plans that she creates because as far as she's concerned, I've already done all the work. I've committed to that path. Let's do this. And I'm going to delegate because I know that, you're going to be good with this and you're going to be good with that and you're going to be good with this. And let's just get it done. Let's move forward so that we can be moving forward in that motion space, not stuck and spinning our wheels. Every day I bring radical self-love to my mind, body, and spirit. And sometimes that's going to be by saying no, by breaking out of particular patterns that are no longer serving you with people in your life. Balsamic moon card. So this is I surrender. July 31st to August 3rd. And the balsamic moon is the final phase of the final scientific phase of our new moon cycle. And so this is the last phase before we open up into that next new moon energy. So I surrender. What energy can I lean into to fly free into this new version of me? What can I consider as I embrace this opportunity to know myself anew? I love this. We got 10 of Pence. So when we're talking about 10 of Pentacles, this is a card of I've arrived. I've achieved all that I worked hard to achieve. This is legacy. Not only did I achieve what it was that I set out to, but I've also earned enough or created enough or left enough behind for others to be able to benefit from this as well. And I've got enough to start something new. So I'm feeling an energy of investment with this. Also, this is a card of ancestors, ancestry, as well as sort of that legacy energy. But what I'm feeling here is really important to our reading today is the 10 of Pentacles during this time is basically saying, relax. You've put everything in place to get you where you need to go. Now trust. Look around at what you've got. Look around at how things are moving and flowing and shifting. Look for the signs. Look for the synchronicities. Because when we put your focus onto those things, you feel that 10 of Pentacles energy. You feel that abundance. You feel that opulence, that luxury, that enoughness, that overflow, that generosity that can come from all the things and the stuff that you have to give. So when we're in that space of I surrender, it's, you know, what I keep hearing is like, when is enough enough? I was having a conversation, I don't know when, a couple of days ago with somebody, and then subsequently watched a video that was along the same topic, and it was kind of the idea of, you know, billionaires when they start off. Some billionaires start off, you know, self-made people with a lot of altruism, and then at what point? And not that all billionaires do this or millionaires do this, but at what point do they face that moment of when is enough enough? You know, there's always the desire for more, the desire for more, the desire for more. And so some of those billionaires, you know, kind of turn into the evil, like the fruits of the devil, because they're focused suddenly now on acquiring more and more and more. When is enough enough? This is a card to say, I surrender to what is, and I sit in this. I wait in this for a while. I enjoy this phase. I enjoy this mountain peak. Yeah, there will be other mountain peaks, but it's okay for me to sit and enjoy this one for a while and to spread the wealth, to share, to help others come up the mountain. Your legacy. So take a look at that at the end of the Cancer season. And of course, then we're into Leo. At this point, we've transitioned into Leo. And our final card of the spread is the Dark Moon card. And this Dark Moon card, again, it's not the scientific phase, but it is an energetic phase, and it represents more release. So that Dark Moon or that Void Moon card, it happens in between the Balsamic Moon phase, so between July 31st and August 1st. So I've kind of intuitively chosen August 2nd as being the energy of this. And it's what I release. What can I release control of or walk away from, knowing it has served its purpose? And how can I remain open to the new and the unknown in this process? Oh, beautiful. We've got the sun. So it's letting go of the struggle and the strife and the fight for truth, and going into that place of pure acceptance of it is what it is, and my truth is my truth, and somebody else's truth is their truth, and neither is right or wrong. It just is. And let's shine the light of universal truth on all of it. And what is that universal truth? It's the spiritual realm. It's the rising out of and observing a situation from the spiritual perspective, from that soul perspective. Again, remember I said the soul is here for everything. It doesn't judge an experience as good or bad, right or wrong. It says, I'm here for the experience itself. And I don't care what the experience is, because no matter what it is, I'm going to learn from it. So let's just have them all. Let's have all the experiences. So I feel like what you're sort of releasing is the idea of having to put structure around things you're trying to, sort of compute in your head. You're trying to put wrap things up in a bow. You're trying to get nice, clean, clear resolution. And I feel like this basically is saying your truth is your truth, take it with you. Their truth is their truth, they can take it with them. The light of universal truth encourages you to look at it from the observer's perspective, that spiritual perspective, and to say, oh, look at what I learned. Look at what they learned. Look at the whole process. It's not always, things aren't always what they seem. It's not always simple and straightforward and cut and dry. There's always that spiritual approach to it. Wow, guys, that is our new moon cycle for this Cancer new moon cycle. Holy cannoli for July. I can't even believe all of this stuff that's coming up. So very heart and soul, I want to say head, heart, and soul focused. A lot of work with the heart. So connect with that energy. And feel free to go back throughout this video during these dates, because I feel like specifically this particular cycle, it's really going to gives you insight to watch it now prior to the new moon, but it's also going to give you deeper wisdom and insight when you're watching it while you're in it as well. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward to this, especially that the full moon with that Fool card. It's exciting. I'm ready for the new. Let's bring it on. So I hope you enjoyed this new moon. It's always a pleasure to do these readings for you guys. If you like what you see here, please feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell on my YouTube channel. And if you're looking for a little more clarity and guidance, you want to kind of get to know a little more heart and soul purpose related stuff, check out my Phoenix journeys. I've got the Phoenix 360 Extreme Clarity Experience. I've also got your Soul's Purpose Journey Phoenix Experience. We get right into the heart of what is my soul trying to tell me? What's my soul purpose for this year? What do I really need to be focusing on? So feel free to click on the links below in those description boxes, and I'd love to connect with you guys. Take care and transform well.